We're here at Nebworth House. Now, Frank, it's nice of you to invite the assembled media to your summer residence.
This is Bill's house. This is back.
This is your summer abode, Frank.
Yeah, I should fix it like it.
Now, big show Stevenage Saturday. World super middleweight title, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
It's two-weight world champion. It'd be a great achievement for him.
If he can do that, it will be great. It's funny, I looked at them standing together when I was doing the face-off a half hour ago, and Isufi is much more physically bigger than Bill. So I'm thinking, Bill coming up in weight, he's not fought that weight before. This guy's has come down through the weights, so he's naturally a bigger guy, and he'll certainly be the bigger guy on the night. How Bill will cope with that.
Well, he's not a household name, but the guy's not a mug. He's unbeaten at super middleweight, and he's world ranked number 1.
Well, TRUAX wasn't ranked. Sorry, he was ranked number 40 in the world when he came over and fought James DEGALE.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always pitfalls, isn't there?
Yeah, there are, and I'm not counting the chickens. Bill should beat him on ability and skills, but there are unknowns there, as I've just mentioned. The weight, coming up a weight. So
there is a magnitude to this fight in terms of an achievement, because it will put him in a band of brothers, if you like, with David Hay, with Ricky Hatton, with Nigel Benn. I mean, it goes down in history books.
It certainly does, and he'll be looking to do that, and he'll be doing it in his home county, Hertford. So, Hertfordshire, I should say. So it's a big thing for him. But if he can do that, it also gets him into a position where we can hopefully get one of these big fights that we've been trying to get for years with him. He's capable. Provided he's okay at this weight, he's very, very, very capable of beating all these guys out there. I really do believe that. I really do believe he's got the beating of all of them.
That's the thing with this. It's twofold, isn't it? First, to make history, become a two-weight world champion. Second, it's a means to an end, isn't it? To get the fights he wants.
That's it. That's what it's all about. So he can't afford to slip out, and he's got to look good. He's got to look good in winning the title.
Let's go down the card a little bit, Frank. Joyce, we've got big Alexander over there, and he's as big as we always remember him to be, isn't he?
Looks like he's got bigger than me. I mean, he must have been sleeping in a grow bag when he was a kid. He's a giant, and they're both very big guys. But at the end of the day, this is we talk about Joyce. He's had 8 pro fights, and he's 32. Was it 32 or 33 years of age?
Okay.
So this is a big step up for him.
Classic banana skin in a way, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, this is no foregone conclusion. He's not done it the easy way, Joe. I mean, he's coming out of the Olympic Games, winning that silver medal, and he's fought some decent fighters. And this fella, was it 2 fights ago, was in for a WBA version of the title.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to stay switched on, because, as always, there is talk about his next fight. What comes next in July 13th?
That's how
so that's always, the danger of it all.
That's how it always is in boxing. But he needs to just focus on this, and if he does, then obviously we know what his next date is, and then we've got in our mind for an opponent. But it depends how he shapes up on Saturday. 2
smashing lads, Brad Foster and Ashley Lane, fighting for the British Super Bantamweight title. You kind of know what you're going to get from those two, don't you?
You can see that, can't you? They're both. I mean, they are both up for it, and I'm looking forward to it. I think that's one we're going to enjoy.
You've signed Brad. I mean, he's 21 years old. He's started at 18, no amateur experience, world champion kickboxer. I mean, you obviously see some potential in there.
Well, he's a natural sportsman. He's a natural fighter, and to sort of won a British title after that age, after 11 fights with no amateur experience, is something. So we will see. He's in with a guy who's, I think, it's a toss the coin job.
There's a massive undercard, Frank, and I won't sort of ask you to go through it, but there's 2 fighters I'd like to pick out for a third. Now, after a number of false starts, touch wood, I believe we've got Ryan Garner back this Saturday. I mean, he's had illnesses, he sort of fainted off the scales, he had a little mishap with his licence, and finally we're getting a young talent back on the horse.
Honestly, we weren't with bad luck, he wouldn't have any, but you know what, he needs now to knuckle down and make it happen, because his future is in his hands. So he needs to get out there, look good. We get him out, and we're going to keep him busy. But he's got to keep focused. And like I keep telling, not just him, a lot of fighters, you don't just get by on talent in this business. If it's about who's the most talented, then we know the best fighters. It's more than about talent. It's about having dedication, and more importantly, having the discipline to be dedicated. And he's got to show that side of him.
You've laid it all out for him, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had the opportunity, so now it's
down to him now.
One more I'd like to ask you about, Frank. 9 times national champion making his debut. A young cheeky chappie called Dennis McCann.
I am really looking forward to seeing him. I really mean that. You know, he's got everybody who, you know, who knows about the amateurs. They all rave about him. And I hear about what he does in sparring, so I'm looking forward to him, and I'm pleased he signed with us. And I think we're going to, if he is half as good as I'm being told, we're going to all be excited by him.
Spiteful puncher, apparently. 17 KOs as an amateur.
I know, he can whack, there's no doubt about that, so that's going to be interesting.
Last couple of things, Frank. We put one together this week. Zelfa Leon, Barrett v Woodstock. I mean, you can just see, looking at social media, the reaction to it. You can see whether it's meets with people's approval or not, and that overwhelmingly does.
Wait, but look at that card.
Metcalf.
It's all 50-50 fights on there. All the top, you know, all the main fights are 50-50 fights. It's a great card to watch. You know, if you're a boxing fan, it don't get any better. But we put together a lot of good. We've got a good run of shows coming up with some really cracking fights. You know, we mentioned a couple, and a few more we're going to announce. You know, that'll be announced soon. The fight between Anthony Yard is going to be fighting Kovalev. These are proper fights for our men. They're in really good quality fights, and I'm looking. I'm really looking forward to the next few months.